What happened to me was I posted on Twitter and I was just like, oh my God, I made 1 year of living in Mexico City. Yes, I was so excited. But this went viral in a way that it got pushed over to Mexico Twitter. And it was just so many comments, thousands and thousands and thousands of comments saying like, gringa go, eat your fried chicken and your watermelon, gorilla emojis, get your black out of here, you're a the hard R. You're a colonizer, you're a gentrifier, you're the reason why locals are being pushed out. And it just was so much. And I am sorry because there was a few comments that like kind of upset me, and I did say something mean back. I said something along the lines of like, F you guys back, learn English. That's mean. And I'm not even gonna stand on that. Like, that's mean. Like, that wasn't kind of me to say, and I do apologize for that. Hey y'all, quick intermission because I realized when I was editing this video, I didn't mention what was said. I don't know if it's important or not, but it might be able to provide a little bit of context. When I sent those messages in retaliation, they made a comment sending gorilla emojis, fried chicken emojis, but they said that they was gonna rape me back to Africa. They said they were gonna kill me and bring me back to Africa. And it was comments like that saying like, oh, you don't even speak fucking Spanish, we're gonna kill you and send you back to Africa. Like, are you serious? Like, that's how it was feeling. It was feeling like, I don't know, and I felt like I was backed up into a corner, so that's why I said what I said. Two wrongs do not make a right. I'm so sorry. They deleted what they said to me. I would never just write someone and say that. I don't speak English in Mexico. I absolutely love Mexico. I love Mexican people. I just wanted to say, like, that was the context around that. So let's get back into the video. This was a quick little intermission. Let's go. I do apologize for the role that I play in gentrification. And sometimes I feel weird apologizing because it's like, girl, you still here. Leave. If you really sorry, you leave. I just want to send apologies out to like anybody that I hurt their feelings, or if anytime I'm like coming off like a colonizer, I'm sorry, but I live here. I've been living here a year. And respectfully, the Mexicans in person are extremely nice. Like, they're very nice. It don't give what the internet is giving. Every time I'm outside, whether I'm by myself or I'm with my dog, people are always kind, generous, offering me new things. Like, it don't give what the internet gives. So I'm always a little shocked when I go on the internet and I'm like, oh my God, Mexicans are so nice. They're like, no, we hate you. No, you're black. No, eat your fried chicken. No, you're a gringa. I'm just sitting there like, whoa. And if there's a moment to clutch your pearls, this is it.
You should live your life the way that you want to live your life in Mexico or Ecuador or Spain or Australia or whatever the fucking place you want.
Vete a la mierda. What does that mean? Because I know it can't be good. Let's see what that means. Oh, okay. Hey y'all, there's so many new friends here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, y'all. My name is leariellesimone. I am a holistic nutritionist. I help people eat and live for energy. I mostly talk about plant-based eating, gut health, emotional eating. And I don't really talk about diet because I think a lot of us already know that we should be eating more arugula, more kale, more Swiss chard, more Brussels sprouts, more greens, more colors, more fermented foods. We already know what we should be eating for the most part. I like to talk about how we should be living, how often we should be food shopping, meal combination, what foods work with what foods, how to maximize on your nutrient absorption. I like to talk about how to store your food, where to put certain foods together at, how to live, how to meal think, how to take a moment every single day to think about your meals before you even get hungry. I specialize in the habits that help us eat and live better, the daily little things, the morning routine, nighttime routine, things like that, because my specialty is really in creating mindful habits on a daily basis. But this video is not about that. This video is about what has been happening to me online lately. It's about gentrification. It's about how, as an expat, and what some people might come in the comments and say, it's like, you're an immigrant, you're an immigrant. But this video today is all about me moving to Mexico City and gentrification and what we can do to stop it, slow it down, help it, whatever it is. So I want to tell y'all what's been happening lately, and I want to be very honest with y'all. I just recently hit 1 year of living in Mexico City. I'm so excited. 1 year, January 8th makes 1 year since I moved to Mexico City, and I'm just so grateful. I love it here. The people are kind and warm and welcoming and loving and communal and giving. I love everything about living here. I love the fact that it's very metropolitan with a lot of trees, so you get to walk around and see see a ton of greenery all the time. It's very dog friendly. I love my neighborhood. I love my neighbors. They know me. I know them. I know their name. They know my name. They know my dog's name. It's a moment. It's very, very communal. I've been living here a year. My Spanish is pretty good. I would say it's pretty good. Entiendo español. Entiendo español. Hola, hola. I think my Spanish is pretty good. But to be fair, I have lived abroad the majority of my life. So a little background story on me is I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from Williamsburg. I grew up in Williamsburg, was born and raised in Williamsburg. My parents still live in Williamsburg. So I just am a Brooklyn girl through and through, like thoroughly, right? I'm sure some of y'all can hear it too. Like, I go from Brooklyn. But I'm from Brooklyn, and I have been talking about health and wellness the majority of my life. But for the last like 11 years, I've been talking about health and wellness. I was recently certified about 5 years ago, and before that, I was a personal trainer. Now, I spent the majority of my adult life in Brooklyn, half of it in Brooklyn, but half of it traveling the world. So I've been to 17 different countries by myself, and I've lived in 7 countries by myself. And a lot of people don't know this about me, but I studied abroad in Tanzania. We mostly did Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar is magical, y'all. It's magical. But then I also did Mozambique, Ethiopia, and then after that, after I studied abroad, got my degree, the first place that I went to by myself was Costa Rica. I lived in Costa Rica for some time. That was really nice. I mostly did Escazú, Manuel Antonio. I've been to Jaco Beach before and Ubita, so I spent most of my time in the Pacific Coast. But then after that, I did a 1-year span across South America. So I started in Ecuador, and then I did a homestay in Ecuador. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like staying with a family. So we had to have breakfast and dinner together and speak in solo and Espanol and like really just speak the language, and that's it. Like, it was really beautiful. And I also did language classes, so from Monday through Friday I was in school. So I learned Ecuador Spanish, and I'm gonna get to the story, right? So I learned Ecuador Spanish. Right after Ecuador, I did a couple of months in Ecuador, I went to Peru. I did mostly Cusco, and then like I went to Machu Picchu a few times, and that was that, right? Next, I went to Chile, and I spent the majority of my time in Santiago. That was amazing as well. I absolutely love Chile, but the Spanish in Chile is very different. So just imagine this with me real quick, right? You learn Ecuador Spanish, and you're getting better and better and stronger at it, and then you go to Peru for a couple of months, and Peru got a whole different vibe. Like, everything is like kind of different. If I had to compare it to the States, it's like growing up in New York, the Bronx or something like that, and then all of a sudden going to Cali, and then all of a sudden going to Michigan, and then all of a sudden going to Atlanta. Like, the accents change. For the most part, we're all speaking English, but the dialect, the slang, just certain things just change, and you gotta like readjust. And it's even harder when it's a new language. So even though I'm learning Ecuador Spanish, when you get to Peru, it's different. And then when you get to Chile, it's different. And then now I'm in Mexico, and it's different. It's just different. So I'm adjusting a lot for the most part. I do understand Spanish extremely well, especially if you talk a little slower. I can understand it, and I know how to respond to things. At this point, I can hold a 30-minute conversation, and I'm really proud of myself for that, because a year ago, that wasn't the conversation. That wasn't what the case was. And now, like, I'm a good 30, 35 minutes in, and we can hold it. We can hold a convo. I know what you're saying. I know how to adapt to what you're saying. I can communicate very well. So I'm learning, and I'm trying. Lo estoy intentando. Like, I'm trying. And for the most part, what I do is I come out here, I create content, I have clients, I have workshops, I host retreats, I host dinner experiences. I am all about teaching people how to eat better and how to live better, mixed in with some travel content, mixed in with some Mexico City content. I'm big on self-help books. So right now I have a series on YouTube called Full Cup. But basically what I'm trying to say is that I am all about eating and living colorful, whatever that means to you, whether it's eating more vegetables, eating more fruits, eating more fermented foods, picking up new creative endeavors. I love to color. I love to be a tourist in my city. I love to spend time in nature. Eating and living colorful is my biggest bag. That's what I'm about. So when this happened to me, and we're about to get into it right now, what happened to me was I posted on Twitter, and I was just like, oh my God, I made 1 year of living in Mexico City. Yes, I was so excited. You see me smiling. You see me taking certain pictures in Mexico City, some of my favorite places, Biblioteca Vasconcelos, like just fire places. Hold on, actually, I'm gonna post a tweet right here. So yes, y'all, this is the tweet. Me being happy, me being excited, me smiling. right? So I don't know how, but things tend to go viral. I do go viral a lot. Like I'm also, y'all might not know, but I'm the salad girl that's on Twitter. Like I go viral often, but this went viral in a way that it got pushed over to Mexico Twitter. And it was just so many comments, thousands and thousands and thousands of comments saying like, gringa, go, eat your fried chicken and your watermelon, gorilla emojis, get your black out of here, you're the hard R. Like it was just saying, we don't want you here, you need to go, you're a colonizer, you're a gentrifier, you're the reason why locals are being pushed out. I'm the reason why locals are being pushed out. It was just so many hate comments. I'm not even being dramatic. And then people was going after my followers because my followers was like, yo, all she do is post fruits and vegetables. All she be like, it's like, come tus frutas y vegetales. Like, just eat your fruits and vegetables. Fermented foods here and there. Take your daily probiotics. Have a morning routine. Go to bed a little earlier. What books are you reading? Like, that's the content she be posting. And y'all are upset at her saying she's pushing all the locals out. And it just was so much, y'all. It was so much. It is still so much. Right now, all of my accounts are on private right now because all of my comments are off because it is so much. It's like, oh, you're this, you need to leave. Yeah. It's overwhelming. And now people are attacking my followers and it's stirring into a bigger conversation because I know that the problem is much bigger than me. And I don't want the conversation to go into like this race war where you got a whole bunch of black people against a whole bunch of Mexicans, or you got Americans against Mexicans, because that's the way the conversation is starting to go. That's what we flirting with. We flirting with a race war, and I don't want that. I don't want that at all. You got the Americans saying, I know Mexicans are not talking about go back to your country. And then all of a sudden you got the Mexicans saying, you don't even speak Spanish, you need to go, It's a lot, and it's a lot of animosity. And I think with things going on with the current president, Trump, and then Claudia, like it's a lot of tension. And then you got Bad Bunny's album that's mostly about gentrification. It's a heavy girl, like the tension is nasty work right now. And I get that. So I really want this video to be about why I moved to Mexico, what I'm doing to help out at gentrification, because realistically, and I just want to be honest with y'all, realistically, people are not leaving, you know, and I get it. People are like, oh, but you're promoting people to be here. You're promoting people to come. You're telling people about the cost of living. I'm coming from New York. It was really between like moving to Atlanta or moving to Mexico City. I chose Mexico City because I want to learn Spanish. I enjoy speaking Spanish. Mexican food is fire. I enjoy learning about Mexican culture. I thoroughly enjoy it. I love my neighbors, my locals. I love great weather. I love being able to walk anywhere. That's very important to me in the city, the walkability. It's close to America. So at any moment, anything I need, I can just, go back to America. So I mostly came to Mexico because of those reasons. And a plus is the fact that there's weather, the food, the cost of living, being able to save money, being able to invest, things like that. Like that is a huge pro, and we're not gonna negate that. That's one thing we're not gonna neglect, is the fact that it is cheaper to live here. I am all about quality of life, and obviously finances play a huge role in that. My quality of life is having a slow morning routine. That's what I'm realizing. The older I get, I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of luxury in a slow, quiet morning routine. Look, neighborhood quiet, all you hear is the birds. That's important to me. Sun is out and it's 4 o'clock. That's important to me. Just like being able to breathe a little slower. And since I've moved here, and this is the last thing I want to say about this too, maybe not, but since I've moved here, my relationship with my time has been different. Like an hour feels like an hour here. I'm from New York, where the New York minute is real. Like everything is go, get it. Like, you know what I mean? And now it's like, oh, I'll hear people walk slow and they talk slow. And it's encouraging me to breathe slow and eat slow and just be more mindful, be more present. Look at the green and it's really green, and look at the blue and it's really blue, and like all of that, like being more present and fulfilled in every single moment, every single minute. Time hit different here, and that enhances the quality of life. And that's really what's important to me, taking my time with my time. Even when I come out here and I'm like rushing to different appointments, they be like, tranquilo, amiga. Relax. Everything is all right. Nothing's running from you. I had to retrain my nervous system. And this is also the most relaxed I've ever felt in my life. I have less tension in my neck, in my chest, in my heart, in my gut. I feel like my body is actually processing the food correctly. Not to mention the food is real here. The strawberries, everything tastes like really real here. It's kind of wild. And I don't eat meat back in the States. And out here I eat meat and I feel fine. This is the most energy I've ever had in my life. Basically just my central nervous system, my gut. I am finally healthy, and I feel like everything that I do, the meditation, the EFT tapping, the journaling, the audio journaling, the therapy, the constantly working out, the having a morning routine, getting quality sleep, spending time in nature, having community and intentional friends that feel good, like the quality is quality in here, you know what I mean? But basically what I'm trying to say is everything that I'm doing for my life feels like I'm enhancing the quality of my life. I feel like my health is elevating. Whereas before, when I was in New York, when I was in the States, I felt like all the meditation, all the workouts, all of this was just like maintaining my bare minimum level of sanity. Now I feel like I'm actually growing. And I want all of us to feel this way. And it doesn't mean move to Mexico. It means find a city that's in alignment with you. Think about who you want to become and find a city that is flirting with that. Find a city that is in a parallel to like how you want to feel. That's it. And I found Mexico City and I love it here. I love it here. So all this hate, all this it's overwhelming. But I do want to acknowledge the fact of gentrification. Like we can't skip over that. Gentrification is a real big thing. But I just want to say that the problem is a lot bigger than me. It's bigger than just me, and I want us to remember that. And I really want to encourage us to all enter this conversation with an open mind, with respect. I'm telling you, please be respectful, because I want to invite better solutions, and I want us to come together and provide resources to provide better solutions so we can come together, because realistically, people are not leaving. I'm sorry, people are not leaving. In fact, the Mexican government is encouraging more of us to come. They need and love tourism. They are building tons of buildings and condos in my neighborhood, in La Condesa, in Roma, in Escondon. People are moving here regardless. They are coming here regardless. Like, I don't know if that's something that we can stop. And granted, people moving here, Americans, immigrants moving here, it is creating a demand. And with demand, obviously more and more is gonna come. But they're coming regardless. Like, and I just want to be honest about that. They're coming regardless. So what can we do, realistically speaking, what can we do to soften the blow, to like really ease it in there? And I want y'all to keep it $150 with me. Don't say leave. Please don't say leave, because like obviously that's the obvious answer. Like, girl, just leave. I want us to come up and be honest. I want us to come up with a solution, the second best solution. How can we help? How can we support? How can we show up and really help the locals? Is there a place we can donate? Can we be like, yo, I got your rent for a couple of months, like everybody's lunch on me? Like, just how can we help and support? So I came up with a list so far of what I've been doing. Oh, I'm sorry, I really gotta talk about this too. I live here, I've been living here a year. And respectfully, the Mexicans in person are extremely nice. They don't give what the internet is giving. And I don't mean that to say, come to Mexico, people are nice. I mean that to say, like, the internet is just, and even when I say this, people are always like, oh, it's because they want your money. It's because of this, it's because of that. First off, I'm gonna be honest. Every single time I post on the internet, every single time I'm like, oh my God, I love Mexico. Look at this market. My vecinos, my neighbors are nice and warm. They want me to try mole out. Every time I'm outside, whether I'm by myself or I'm with my dog, people are always kind, generous, offering me new things. Like, it don't give what the internet gives. So I'm always a little shocked when I go on the internet and I'm like, oh my God, Mexicans are so nice. They're like, no, we hate you. No, you're black. No, eat your fried chicken. No, you're a gringa. Like, and I'm just sitting there like, whoa, like, my experience is not that. It never gives that. You ask any of the black expats that I'm friends with, or any expats period, because I have white friends, Mexican friends, I have a plethora of friends. You ask any of them that, like, they're like, I've never had an experience in person. Or it's very seldom. Very seldom. So I'm just like, yo, if there's a moment to clutch your pearls, this is it. So I'm genuinely confused, because in person, people are kind. and they provide solutions. When I talk to the locals about certain solutions and I talk to my Mexican friends, they're always like, look, you're doing the best you can. You're learning the language. I never go up to any locals speaking English. No hablo inglés con los locales. Like, I would never do that. I would never go up to locals and start speaking English or assume that they should start learning English or anything like that. And that's what colonizers do. Colonizers pull up to a country, strip you of your language, strip you of your culture, strip you of your food, and like, personally, me, and just a fact proven, and I'm just not gonna argue this, is black people cannot be colonizers. We literally do not have the privilege, we do not have the capital, to literally colonize an entire country. We don't have it. We don't have the systemic power to do something like that. Like, realistically speaking, we don't. Yes, we can be gentrifiers. Yes, we have passport privilege. Yes, we have money and we have financial privilege. And yes, that's a big deal. But we cannot go into a country and strip them of their culture. That's not something we can do. We can play a role in certain things, but that's not something we can do. But I want to get to solutions. I want to talk about solutions. That's really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how we can help, and I really want to encourage us not to be like, leave. How can we create solutions? And when I speak to the locals about it, they're like, you're doing the best you can, you're learning the language. Secondly, which is a big deal, they're like, you're shopping at local markets and with the local merchants, so you're supporting local owned businesses. That is very important as well. And as far as learning the language, I got a little cheat code because I've moved abroad and lived abroad so many times. But what would really help is Pimsleur. I listen to Pimsleur even to today. I always listen to Pimsleur, and Pimsleur specializes in learning the language from hearing it. And that's very important because I recognize, like, for a while, I always thought it was vocabulary. I know a lot of palabras, like I know a lot of words, and I always felt like, oh, you need to know all the words in Spanish. But Pimsleur trains your ear to understand conversational Spanish. I also recommend Amazing Tutor. Amazing Tutor is a great language learning platform where you can partner up with a tutor, and the lessons are between like 55 to 60 minutes, and they range between like $10 to $20 per lesson, 10 to 20 USD dollars per lesson. And that is how I'm learning Spanish right now. I'm practicing with a tutor. I also do Pimsleur, and then also just conversational Spanish with my neighbors. If you are gonna move here, if you're gonna come here, learn Spanish. Do not pull up with your English. And even though I've been getting dragged on social media, and they've been very, 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 very racist and sending me death threats, y'all. Real life death threats. Like, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of death threats, to the point where like a few people are recognizing me in my neighborhood, or they think they know what neighborhood I'm in, and they're like, oh, I see her go to this dog park, I've seen her here, she goes to this spot, she likes to eat here. They're starting to organize people, and that is how the embassy got into it. Yes, y'all, the embassy is into this now. Like, it's actually like a big deal right now. I cannot believe it. I can't believe things got this far, because they are taking these death threats very seriously. They don't play about tourism, and they just don't play about what's happening. They're looking at these threats and taking it seriously, because it's like, people are really in the comments like, let's organize a group to remove her from her home. You're doing too much. That's honestly me where I draw the line. And that's why I really need all of this to stay on the internet. I'm gonna cross our fingers, and please, if you are a supporter of mine, please pray for my safety. Please pray for my protection. Please pray that the police continue to walk with me, because this is too much. Like, I'm here talking about fruits and vegetables, and I'm here loving on your culture deeply. And I am sorry, because there was a few comments that like kind of upset me, and I did say something mean back. I said something along the lines of like, F you guys back, learn English. That's mean. And I'm not even gonna stand on that. Like, that's mean. Like, that wasn't kind of me to say, and I do apologize for that. I do apologize for the role that I play in gentrification. And sometimes I feel weird apologizing, because it's like, girl, you still here. Leave. If you really sorry, you'd leave. So I just want to send apologies out to like anybody that I hurt their feelings, or if anytime I'm like coming off like a colonizer, please, I want to invite you. I'm sorry, but I want to invite you to talk to me. I'm open-minded. I'm very open-minded. I want to learn about the culture. If I'm saying something, if I'm doing something that's inappropriate, talk to me about it respectfully. with open-mindedness, with patience, with grace, and I'm going to shift that. Last thing I want to do is make anybody uncomfortable. I will shift that. I will change that. Oh, you need to donate here? I'm doing it. Oh, you need to do this? I'm doing it. Anything you tell me to do, I'm doing it. Right now, my friends are like, oh, you really gotta learn Spanish. I'm learning, and I'm pretty good at it, and I'm getting better every day. Supporting local communities. So everything I get, my soap, my toilet paper, my sheets, my books, everything, my clothes, everything is from local Mexican merchants. There's this one place that I really like to go to. It's called like Fresno. I'll put it right here. Like, it's called Fresno something. They're always hosting events. So they're always selling like plants or clothes or art or home decor. They are always hosting events, and all of the merchants are always local Mexicans. But tune in with the community. Do not pull up speaking English. Do not pull up always shopping at the high-end stores. No. Pull up and shop with the locals. Like, shop with the I love the market, Lagunia. Love that market. It's in Tepito, and it happens every Sunday. If you really want to give back to the community, that's a great place to start. So speaking Spanish, being friendly with your neighbors, like being curious about them, being a better listener. Always hit them with the buen dia, buenos dias, buenas noches. Like, really get respectful and like speak in their language all the time. Get to know them. My neighbors, they rock with me because I pull up from the ultimate space of humility. Ultimately humble. I'm like, oh, like, do you need this? Or how can I? That's how I pull up. I don't pull up like, y'all need to move. I pull up like, I'm trying, Lord. Encantado. So those are the main reasons that I know of to show up and support Mexico and Mexico City. If you have any other solutions, please, I invite you to drop them in the comments. Like, just please put us on. I just want to encourage everyone, whether you come here, whether you watch this, whether you're a local Mexican, please just put us on as to how we can help you more. Oh, and last thing too, give your time to places. Anytime I go to the market and I'm really early, I help them set up. I help them put the fruits and vegetables out. Just give your time. If you don't always have money or clothes or resources or anything like that, ask them like, what do you need support around? Like, is there a certain hour that you like to close down? Can I help you? Things like that. So yes, those are the ways I like to help, and I'm encouraging all of us to show up and help, to show up and move from a space of humility, to show up and be like, how can I give? How can I provide? Because we are privileged and we can't ignore that. I'm sorry for the very like kind of mean comments that I made to some people. I only made 2 mean comments, but 2 is too many. It was because like everyone just kept saying like being really racist and threatening me and saying they're gonna kill me and my dog. So I just was like, you know what? And it wasn't right. It wasn't right. It kind of gives like colonizer mindset, and I don't ever want to give that. I deeply apologize for that, seriously. I just do wish that there was more to protect the locals, but in the meantime, I want to do whatever I can. And just let me know in the comments, like, how can I help? How can I support? I want to learn everything about y'all, and I want to grow. I'm big grateful, never a little one, muy agradecida. I invite everybody in the comments, like, show love. If you're gonna do anything hateful, you gotta go. Like, no funny, you gotta go. And I say thank you for all the support, all the prayers, all the protection, everything, y'all. I'm so grateful, big grateful, never a little one. And please like, subscribe, go tell a friend to tell a friend. Please check out my ebooks on my website. I have plant-based, gut health, emotional eating, how to eat more colorful, where to start. All of that, y'all. Workbooks, it is amazing on the website. The resources are endless. Please go support. Thank you so much for everything. Big love. Never the little one. Not the little one. So y'all, this is my best friend. No, you don't have no food on your teeth. You look actually very good. He was my first friend. My first friend.
That's true. I'm genuinely concerned for us as Mexicans treating people that way. You don't have to treat people that way. How can I say it? Like, we came from all of parts of the fucking world that we're trying to eradicate, and you just being mean to a nice person that just treats people nicely is just not good.
Can I be honest with you about something? Like, why am I like the poster person for it? Like, why is everyone like making me the hate train? Like,
people need someone, and people need someone to
but why is it never white people, friend? That's my biggest question. Why is it never white people?
Yeah, that's you have shown me your statistics on the elections. My brother has lived in another country and he hasn't experienced any of this. It's just because you're a public person, you're a happily black woman that lives her life to the fullest and gives advice to other people. Sometimes that is jealousy too, and sometimes people wants to be like you and wants to replicate the things that you do, but maybe they don't have the courage, that they don't have the money.
First off, it hits 6 million views in a day. It's a big deal.
You have met my friends, they love you. Please don't this little, like step back in the wrong direction, like let you down and thinking about leaving or doing other things. Like you should live your life the way that you want to live your life in Mexico or Ecuador or Spain or Australia or whatever the fucking place you want. What else I can do is like you do so much. Twitter is a mean place to live.
Twitter is a nasty yell.
I love you, friend.
Friend, I love you too. Like, I love you the long way.
Emily in Paris.
I've never seen it.
If you want to understand this and why is this about color and not about the things that you actually do, you should start seeing Emily in Paris. And now she's a big influencer because she moved to Paris. Ariel in Mexico, So it's because you're a nice, caring, loving woman. No, I love you, right?
Thank you. I love you too.
It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and somehow you become the next Gwyneth Paltrow. It's the goop.
And I have a feeling something big is gonna happen. So I agree with that. I would never upload me crying.
Yeah, please.